first discovered Nia in 1996. I was living in Portland, Oregon, and my next door neighbor took me to my first Nia class. I've been taking Nia classes and practicing Nia now for over 20 years. And as I continued with the practice, what I found is that an element of the practice called the body's way and your body's way, these two sort of philosophies around the design of the body, that's really what a lot of the moves in Nia, the 52 moves, are based on, the design and functionality of the body. My first Nia class was both exciting and exhilarating, but it also felt like a reckoning in some ways with how much potential there was to be more comfortable in my body and more comfortable with myself and more expressive and more alive, and that realization in those first couple classes that really hadn't been where I was, like what I was inhabiting. And I recognized in those classes at first that I really wanted that for myself. So when I came to Nia, my only connection to movement had been through more classical dance training. And that training was with the intention of performance. It was very external. It had to do everything with appearance. And it had very little to do with how I was feeling, or really even how I was sensing my body. So often what I would do in my prior dance training with my body for the sake of performance didn't feel good. But over the years I had internalized this demand to tune that out, so that a lot of the early work of Nia for me was learning to listen to those messages of physical sensation again, and then to be able to make choices based on what felt good versus what looked good, which is just such a huge shift and has been an amazing gift in my life and has really allowed me to learn different ways to navigate, not just in the studio, but in my life. One of the things that is different about Nia than a traditional fitness class would be the way that we are encouraged to modify our movements. I've certainly taken some really good fitness classes with instructors who are very skilled at helping people modify their movements. The difference with Nia is that a good Nia facilitator is encouraging students with the tools to be able to modify the movements for themselves. You know, our classes at the dance complex, they have students from 16 to about 84 years old, and every age in between. And we have students who are working with physical therapists and osteopaths, and we've had students over these years who have been at different points and stages with cancer treatment and chemotherapy and radiation, and they're often able to come to class and feel safe and held in a space where they can engage in whatever amount feels right for them and still really feel like they have their practice, because they get to take their practice with them regardless of what's going on in their bodies or their lives. And it's an honor. You know, it's really a privilege to be able to see people both grow in their development of something, or to learn the form well enough that they can then feel free to modify it for themselves. It's so powerful when I see someone come to class and I know that they've been unwell, I know that they maybe are going through a cancer or a divorce or something like that, and still show up and just take a little bit. You know, they can come and say, I'm here, I made it, and I might not be able to practice at my level 3 or 4 or 10 today, but I've made a commitment to myself. That's an amazing thing to be able to watch as a facilitator.